Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Thaumaturge, where we just got ourselves out of jail. We got into some fisticuffs with the local police. That is not so local. Someone told the Tsar to go fuck himself, and one thing went after the other. You know how it goes. Where are all the side quests? Fine, I'll go to the funeral. Trams! Trams are cool. Fantastic. Oh, we don't get to see the tram. That is less cool. Men's tailor, accept all manners. On we go into the cemetery. Okay, another obituary. I want to beat some announcements. What's over here? Okay, the old man's obituary again. I didn't see what was on the epitaph. Sure. Uh, uh, sure. Let's upgrade that a little bit more. I want to explore the graveyard first. More things to explore. I want to see all of the things. Okay, time to go then. Fine. Quick word,
I'm
of
sure you
course.
don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away?
If
Was
I know.
that his cause of death? His heart?
I'm curious myself. I haven't had a chance to find out.
Yes, I understand. My condolences, once again. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
I think I ought to arrest you, Thaumaturge. Put your hands down. Someone might see. You still haven't figured out who I am? Don't be surprised. The last time we saw one another was 20 kilos ago.
Uncle Veronian?
I will not keep you. The guy's probably all alone back there, among those vultures circling Stasio. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Go on. We'll talk later.
Okay, on to the Ooh, we have a fancy mausoleum. We must be
Sister?
very rich.
Victor, I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
I took a short trip to a Warsaw jail.
We're not gonna lie to our sister.
What? Are you joking? During the funeral? Are you alright?
Everything's fine, don't worry. Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Oh, sure.
Fine.
Let's get it
Let's
over
get
with.
this over with.
Exactly.
So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better. Definitely closer to the truth. The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 salutars.
Let's be sincere now.
I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother, because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia, because she wasn't born a boy. Me, because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now... Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
How long you
Have you
been?
been eavesdropping like that for long?
All my life, I came to pay my respects to the dead. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
I haven't made up my mind.
I haven't had time to think about it.
I understand. I hope you'll find some reason to stay here a little longer. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Kanieczkin. Ivan Kanieczkin. Goodbye.
Question.
Such interesting friends you had.
What is that?
I guess I'm more tired than I thought.
In the train station earlier.
Grandpa Nikodem, a Thaumaturge. I barely remember him. great-grandmother Josefina, a Thaumaturge.
All the people buried here, Thaumaturges? Interesting. Simple words contain a sea of sadness and longing. The letter was written with a trembling heart and could not come to terms with the loss. It seems that someone was greatly affected by my father's death. Secret gay lover. Okay. Um, the note features condolences from friends in thaumaturgy. Apparently, father must have kept in touch with other people in our profession. Eat dirt, Shilsky. How nice. In blunt terms, it expressed his joy about Stanislav's death. The wreath was thrown carelessly, but some time and effort went into the words in the note. Several versions were written, all of which seemed insufficiently offensive to the author. In the end, he decided on the simple yet eloquent "Eat dirt, Shulsky." More people than I would have guessed came to say their farewells to father. It turns out that he had both friends who were clearly affected by his death and enemies who found it exceptionally pleasing. Well, it seems father evoked extreme emotions in the people he had encountered during his life. Okay, off we go.
We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros postmortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Shabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Ah, the tabloids.
Faina.
Thank you. And you, sir?
We're twins, my dear lady.
The Shulskis reunited. You don't look like a horrid cripple. Why did you leave Warsaw so quickly?
Don't tell her anything. She'll write whatever she wants anyway. And we'd better get going.
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the Citadel.
Are you threatening me, Judge?
No!
I'm actually sparing you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a Thaumaturge? Come on, children. I'm sure my Petya is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
On we go then. Into the house we go. When you say hurry up, and yet you're walking very slowly.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna dear. Let the guests wait. First I want to take care of the will.
No
I
such thing
just
as
wet
tea too
my
strong.
whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Me? Never.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Sounds delightful.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Okay, time to explore the house. Anything in the garden? Really, just some weird people standing in the rain. Portrait depicts father in his twilight years. The serious expression on his face, the proud posture, and the grimoire in his left hand, combined with the dark background and lack of embellishments, it all reflects the strictness and pragmatism he always had. Good old Stanislaw. However, a faint red streak can be seen around his figure. Apparently, artists are particularly sensitive to seeing things that usually escape the human eye. This one should receive double emolument for capturing the thaumaturgic aura. Okay, more newspapers.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia, forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Must be cousin, like different surname. It must be cousin on the mother's side. Mother's portrait. A portrait of mother from her youth. She stands proud, wearing a white dress and silk scarf thrown over her exposed shoulders. Her long dark hair flows down her back, and she glances at the viewer with a piercing smile. Bare skin and frivolous hairstyle. That's not how I remember her. Nadia as a young, unkempt maiden, it's hard to believe. This shocking vision of the painter must have been created in a previous era, a time when hearts were stirred with violent emotions, poems were created to the sound of a storm, love stories had to end tragically, etc., etc. Father actually commissioned such a painting? Okay, nothing else down here. Okay, let's check that out first. The stern countenance resembles that of a human, but the callous gaze shows no trace of human emotions. The Queen of Winter scrutinizes you, sending a shiver down your spine. It makes me think of the words, if you gaze long enough into abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. Of course, he's right, Nietzsche. Okay, liqueur recipe.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stachio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure.
Off we go bottle hunting. Dinner recipes. Back to the basement. An inability to articulate Brown by great surprise clings to the bottle. It was difficult to mouth even a word of gratitude from the unique gift. Words got stuck in the throat. Despite the adoration for this particular liqueur, it is a favorite beverage but an unwelcome gift. Also, it's not liqueur, it's wine. It's American wine. Huh. Are you allowed to call it Pinot Noir if it comes from the United States? I don't know. Okay, upgrade that even more. Okay, what else do we have? Liquor with amber. The bottle exudes a sweet aroma of quinces and a sincere joy of an upcoming meeting. It is a beverage that brings people together and sweetens the bitterness of everyday life, an element of a ritual that two old friends would eagerly indulge in. Mysterious woman. Interesting. The wine carries the aroma of peaches, apples, and a certain amount of conviction that a relationship between two peoples is beginning to take on a romantic edge. A beverage enjoyed by the upper crust given to a man by a woman. Every bottle found in the Shulsky cellar contains a creditable beverage. Uncle Voronin wouldn't disregard any of them.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
Indeed.
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasha's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasha and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
To an easy death.
I suppose there's no reason to bear grudges or be angry, is there? Pistachio?
To an easy death.
Familiar faces keep vanishing from my life. Stasio and my Helena before him. I miss my little darling. I miss them both.
Or his wife was the sister of his father.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
Yes,
let us go
find
then.
out what my father hasn't left me.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulsky's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity, Amen.
Let's not be a cunt.
Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter Ligia Szulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. The administration of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter Ligia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I
so
wish to leave the following...
Marry the sister of the father, okay.
My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first mating.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina.
I wish you success with your business and your hunting. I'm going to have something to eat before heading off.
Just a moment yet, Mr. Szulski. Your name is also mentioned here.
A last-minute plot twist.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Szulski used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared?
Lovely. The only
Did
thing he
father
leaves
have
me
his
and it's
grimoire
lost.
on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
Interesting. Looks a lot like the dream you had.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps, in all that confusion.
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
So that's where it is. I've seen this place. I'd rather not imagine what condition you found Father in there.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
Let's not be a cunt.
I foresaw a slightly more pleasant end for him myself. I doubt even he deserved such a horrible death.
Those might be the kindest words you've ever said on the subject of a father.
How typical of his sort of person to keep a portrait in his study of a family that was only a family on canvas. Not long after the painting was done, he got divorced, ruined Deniedzices, and kicked out his son. But there the portrait hangs, as if family meant anything at all.
I don't know what exactly happened with Abauritze, but I know that Papa felt guilty. You don't want to forgive him even now that he's gone?
The dead need no forgiving. And as for forgetting, I don't know how. It's just a shame about the grimoire.
What do you intend to do?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
Who is Ivan?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
It does seem that I do.
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at our, well, my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
Gotta come up with them, I guess.
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Shulsky family portrait. Our family portrait, I can remember when it was taken. The year was 1884, and Ligia and I were 9 years old at the time. She was clearly tense, and I remember how Mother admonished her not to smile, not to fidget, and to stand straight. Ligia was to take the cue from her. Mother was able to freeze like a statue and sit there, barely breathing for a couple of hours. I, on the other hand, posing nonchalantly, was always more unrestrained than my sister. I could get away with more. Behind us, our father, the head of the family, one hand resting patronizingly on the back of the chaise longue, asserting his ownership, the other holding a grimoire. The black grimoire behind father a shadow, as if a shape was emerging and forming, indicating another presence. That's Balbereth. The family is complete. Love some Chopin.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if the shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check.
The music stopped. Okay, what can I upgrade? Adrenaline rush or restoring health? Yes. Unfortunately, that costs 2 points. How about that? Also costs 2 points. Fine. Grains of desert sands from father's trip to Africa had settled on the suitcase. He would set it aside, spinning plans for future voyages into the unknown regions of the material world, searching for what was hidden behind the veil of reality. Father would pore over the yellowed pages again and again, reading the same words over and over, trying to extract meaning from them. He repeated the words about dedication and the necessity of sacrifice like a mantra, slamming shut one volume and reaching for another. What does it all mean? A letter. The message only appears to be brief. In fact, the pen strokes were accompanied by an accelerated heartbeat, motivated by a restrained fondness for the addressee. The ink is dripping with special care and warmth that have steeped deep into the paper. Again, this mysterious woman. The demonic countenance is clothed in the hope that clung to it first, and the satisfaction that soon followed. It seems that father had plans for Shural, which he eventually managed to fulfill. Okay, we have 2 points now. Let's get the healing. Uh, okay, let's give you 2 agony. And use chance um, to prevent the attack. Okay, anything up here? The grimoires of historical occultists brim with paternal inquisitiveness. The worn pages full of annotations in the margins bear the marks of frequent reading. His heart beating with excitement, father explored the mysteries of demonology, thus expanding his horizons. Father's thoughts were recently occupied with a search for knowledge that bordered on the obsessive. This is related to something much more than his usual curiosity about the world, which I remember him for. He was looking for something, hunting for salutars, exploring the mysteries of everything related to thaumaturgy. The only thing I still don't know is where it led him. Okay, the last will. Okay, a book. Book on demonology, no less. Letter. Another message. Another letter. This appears to be my room. Newspaper. Another letter. Either my room or probably Lygia's. Since it has letters from me, yeah, this is my room. Okay, I have not unlocked more clothes. Okay, what else can we explore? Sharp avian features bear a wild, disturbing kind of beauty. They make you want to fall onto her clutches and be lulled into an eternal dream by her sweet song. Yet her cryptic, slight smile makes subconscious primal path of your being cower away from the predator. But isn't the soul the only fair price for the bliss of giving yourself to that enchanting creature? Who is it?
Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Victor? Victor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
Amazing. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Has something happened?
To me? No. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes. 7 Powaskowska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Powaskowska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Ah, Rasputin the Boomer. Okay, what else do we have?
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
What's next for you? You're in charge here now. Have you got some kind of grand scheme?
A grand scheme? For now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Certain customers are unconvinced that a woman can handle running a business. What's worse, a woman without powers. You know what I
Scandalous.
mean. A thaumaturge at my side would shut them all up. After all, it's your heritage too.
It's our sister, of course we'll do it.
I don't know anything about running a company, but if I can help in any way, you can count on me.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I trust the smoke doesn't bother you.
You used to detest the smell of tobacco. You'd hold your breath going into Father's study.
That's true, but when I'd stay here, alone with Papa, and somehow over the years I got used to it. I don't know when I started copying him even.
Daddy's girl. You were always closer to him.
That's not true. I was just less rebellious than you, his Thaumaturge son. Now come on, what else is on your mind?
The trousers are an original style. Until now, I'd only seen women in trousers in the East.
Scandalous.
First of all, they're practical. It's the 20th century. It's high time we started dressing comfortably.
You've always been brave, never afraid of anything or anybody. Like when Mother almost had a fit, because you dunked my best tie in hot cocoa.
I didn't care that she was angry. I wanted to get you back for not wanting to play with me.
Because you were being too annoying.
You meant to say brave. By the way, Grażyna still makes cocoa every evening. You can conjure up the flavor of childhood if you want. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumyantseva.
Who is she? And what does Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A
Oh, I can
customer?
tell you she's a bit more
If
than
you
that.
don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the creme de la creme of Warsaw. We could go together. How about you track down some evening clothes and I'll sort out the invitation? And I won't take no for an answer.
Of course.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at 11 Pruzhna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We also have barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and
Hey.
face.
What else do we have? Okay, nothing more down here.
Master Victor, let me guess. Have you come for some hot cocoa?
Sure.
Yes, a cup of cocoa would do me good.
Help yourself. The pot is in the salon, along with some of your favorite cookies.
Fantastic.
It's been an age since we've seen one another. I'm glad you're back. Mistress Ligia is really struggling with everything.
And so, the great Stanisław Szulski is dead, crashed by a building. Can't say I'd wish a death like that on anybody.
An awful death. Sheer cruelty. Mr. Szulski didn't deserve it. Now all we can do is think back on what a wonderful man he was.
Ah, yes, wonderful.
That won't take long. Ligia won't open up to me, but how is she doing?
She's having a rough time, the poor dear. Her heart is heavy, though she doesn't show it, but she's strong. She keeps her chin up and doesn't give in. And it's good she's got you to help now, Master. Only she started smoking like a chimney. She takes after her father, no question about it.
So, this death, what do you make of it, Grażynka?
I'll tell you in confidence, Master Szulski. Now, I'm a simple woman, but something about your father's death doesn't sit right with me.
How do you mean, Grażynka?
Don't you suspect some impure powers had a hand in it?
Do you mean it could have something to do with Thaumaturge?
That I don't know. Look at us jabbering while there are potatoes not peeled. Forgive me, Master.
Yes, must peel potato.
Another time, Grażynka. I'll get out of your way.
Always ample work, but I can always snatch a moment for a chit-chat with you, Master.
What is this? Ah, liqueur. Liqueur is not alcohol, it's more of a tincture, in fact. Yes, a medicine. And since life is the most common fatal disease, well, to our health then. I'm gonna fully explore the house. Some hot chocolate after the liqueur. Do you know the secret to time travel? It requires but one sip of cocoa. All of a sudden, Ligia is reading a book in front of the fireplace, and I'm stacking building blocks. My parents are arguing in the smoking room. It's a warm day, and everything goes to hell. Okay, what else do we have here in the house? Will I talk to Ligia?
Are you lost?
Fuck.
Who the fuck are
I'll
you?
try to
What
be
are
a
you
hero,
doing in
and
my
it'll be
fucking
alright.
garden?
You're outnumbered.
Uh, sure you are.
Quantity doesn't always translate to quality.
Call the rest. We got one with a death wish.
Ah, fuck. There's more of them. I don't have enough points to improve Thaumaturge. Okay, give you a wound. And attack you. And quick attack. See if I can slow you. Fantastic. That was nasty. Okay, sure, quick attack on him. Sure. Ah, I'm getting attacked. Yeah. Should be able to take you out with the next attack. Motherfucker. Oh yeah, he broke my attack, the bastard. Kill him. And off we go. Another two pairs of bastards. Another pair of bastards. Okay, you have a lot of health points. Give you some agony as well. Fuck. And double fuck. Quick attack. See if I can delay his attack. Great. Ah, shit. Quick attack again. And siphon some health from him. And take him out. Before I bleed out. Great.
Get off my lawn!
What an achievement for winning with less than 6 health points.
Victor? I heard a noise. Are you alright?
I'm fine. We've had a few unwelcome visitors.
Burglars? What's wrong with this town? I'll call Uncle.
There's no rush. I don't think they'll try to rob anyone anytime soon.
Okay, what else is here? Nothing. And that's all done within the house. So we are going to call it for an episode. Thank you all, everyone who has been watching. Please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe as always. I have been Pope, and I will see you all next time.